All right, welcome back. So, like I said, I do read as many of the comments that I can. And one comment that is pretty reoccurring, especially for the people who are very anxious about this, is am I doing this correctly? That is a really, really bad question to ask yourself, and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to teach you guys, are you doing this correctly? How to know if you're doing this correctly? Why that question sometimes is actually a massive block and a hindrance to actually getting your desire, and a few tips. And I'm going to try keeping this video as short as possible. So let's just start off with why that question of like, am I doing this correctly? How do I know if I'm doing this correctly? Constantly ask yourself that question and questions around those questions. The reason why it is really, really bad to ask yourself those questions is because that is a form of wavering. The one thing you can't do. If you're constantly asking yourself the question, am I doing this correctly? How do I know I'm doing this correctly? With the person who has the desire, which again, that's your only goal is to live in the end. The person who has that desire, would they be asking themselves that question? I mean, think about something that you already have. If you have a phone, you're probably watching this on a phone. You're probably watching this on a laptop or a PC or something. You have that phone. You have that laptop. Are you constantly asking yourself the question, am I doing my mental thoughts and my mental work correctly in order to get the phone? In order to get the PC that I already have, or the desktop, laptop, whatever else that I already have? You wouldn't. So stop asking yourself that question. That is a form of wavering. You cannot waver. You cannot doubt. Like I said in my videos, like last many videos, honestly, and again, I made a specific video about it because again, in the Bible, the word Satan means doubt. It means waver. So I already made a video on that like I don't know, 5 days ago. So check that out. But again, the only thing you can do is waver. If you want to get what you want, do not waver. So that's number one. But listen, I can completely understand why people want to ask themselves the question of, am I doing this correctly? Because at the end of the day, it's very similar to going to the gym. You want to check how many pounds you've lost. You want to check how many pounds you've gained if you're bulking. Whatever it may be, I can understand checking and seeing if you're doing the work properly. I can see checking in with your boss to make sure you're doing everything correctly. And I've said this before. I didn't make an independent video about it. I think I just said it in a few videos over this last month and a half of how you can actually check yourself and check if you're doing manifestation correctly and check if you're inside the state. Because again, it's what states that are what manifesting. It's your dominant state. I think I've said this recently, but I haven't made a specific video about it. So here's the independent video about that. If you want to check yourself and check if you're doing it correctly and check if you have changed your dominant state, all you have to do is an exercise in your imagination that I think I've kind of coined the term open the door technique, even though I'm not a big fan of calling everything a technique in the law of assumption community, because again, the law of assumption community loves using the words like techniques and methods, even though they're all kind of the same thing. They're all just trying to tell you to change your thoughts. But if I have to coin the term, it's like the open the door technique, which I said earlier. And this technique is very easy. All you have to do is, if you're sitting in your room, or if you're sitting in your apartment, if you're sitting in your living room, let's say you're alone. If someone opens that door without any knock, without any appropriate manner, and they just open the door and they don't care if you're busy, they don't care if you're on call, they don't care if you're changing your clothes. They have to ask you this one question. They burst it in and they have to ask you this one question. Do you have your desire? And this can go more specific. Do you have the SP? Are you still single? Are you still broke? How much money do you make? Whatever you're trying to manifest, imagine someone bursting in to your door and they only have one question, and that is about your desire. Do you have your desire? If your first instant reaction is from the old story, the old self, then no, you're not doing this correctly. If your instant reaction is if someone bursts open this door and they ask me the question about my desire, and I still answer from the old story, the old self, then I haven't changed my state at all. But if you answer from the new you first, then yes, you're doing it correctly. If you answer the question saying, no, I'm not single, if you're manifesting not being single, if you're manifesting money and your first answer is, no, I have this much money, then yes, you're in the dominant state. And again, it will manifest instantly. Manifesting doesn't take that much time. Keep repeating in your head, keep sinking in the state. As soon as that state becomes fully dominant, and not just like moment by moment, as soon as it becomes fully dominant, like in the sense of like, you're still going to jump through states across the day, of course, but dominant resting state, just keep dwelling in that. And I promise you are there. You're done the work. You just have to just keep affirming until you see it. That's it. And that's all you really have to do. Just imagine someone bursting into your door and asking you the question, do you have it? And they don't care about they don't care about manners. They don't care about if you're changing your clothes, if you're on call with someone, if you're cooking something, you're playing video games. They just want to know right now, do you have it? And if your instant reaction is from the new you, relax, you're doing this correctly. You're on track. Just keep going. The train is gonna reach its destination. You just have to stay on the train. Don't become like so anxious about it. Just stay on the train and just do that throughout maybe a few times a day if you want to. A few times a day, just ask yourself the question, if someone bursts into my door, which answer am I going to give them if they ask me this question? It's very simple. There's actually not much to it. And I think that's basically it. That's the easiest way to check if you are getting your manifestation, if you're on track to get your manifestation, if you're trying to get your desire, and who you are being. Because at the end of the day, this is the law of I am. It's whoever you embody. And if you embody the state and you react to the world as the new you, like Neville says, there's a vast difference between looking at your desire and seeing the world from your desired state. That's what your goal is, to see the world from your desired state. And if someone bursts into your door and if you react from the new you, from the new eyes, then you're doing it correctly. Here's a little bonus DLC tip. If you're answering the question from the new you, and in real life, if someone asks you that question and you're about to answer from the new you, but you have to kind of bring yourself back down to reality or like this physical delayed world, then you're on track. Like if you're someone who has to kind of step back for a second and kind of slow the train down, like Polar Express type shit, if you have to slow the train down a little bit and then talk about it from the old you, and you kind of have to force yourself to be from that old you for a little bit, you are doing this perfectly. That is like a bonus DLC tip, and that's not some like ordinary bullshit DLC. That is like The Witcher DLC or Destiny 1, the Taken King level DLC expansion right there. Okay, that's some, like, you are so on track. If you can get yourself to that position, you are absolutely on track. And if you're not in the position of, like, to talk about my first point, if you're not in that position where you are reacting to the new, you're reacting to the world from the new you, keep affirming. Okay, keep affirming, keep forcing that new story inside your head. Okay, just if you're not in that new, that's my final tip. And again, I'm probably gonna make hundreds of videos about this. I already have videos on my channel about, affirming and all that stuff, so check those out. I'm not gonna get into that in this video, but just keep affirming if you're not reacting from the neo you. Just keep affirming, keep sinking your brain and soaking your brain with that new story. Just keep affirming as much as you can. Don't kill yourself, obviously, but as much as you can from like a normal reasoning standpoint. But yeah, anyways, that's for today's video. I'll probably see you guys next Thursday now, because I do have a few plans for the week. So I might see you guys next Thursday, maybe Wednesday. I'm not really sure. I'll see how things go. But yeah, anyways, I'll still reply to some of your guys' comments in the comment section. So leave a comment if you need any help. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to have, I don't know, whatever goal is next. I don't know. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, peace out.